Hello, this is Erin Smith. Week 7, upload to YouTube. So I'm going to be reading from my iPad, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit. In the 1997 case of University and College System of Nevada versus Farmer, Farmer was initially awarded $40,000 in damages for violation of the Equal Pay Act. The university won an appeal in front of the state of Nevada Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear the case, leaving the lower court's verdict in place. Defender critiqued the findings of the Nevada Supreme Court using the deontological or teleological approach. From the deontological sense, I defend the Supreme Court's decision to allow the state to handle the verdict in this case. The university had a policy and a goal to provide work to and foster a diverse staff. Without knowing any of the other details surrounding Mrs. Foster's competitor, that alone was enough for the university to choose Mr. Makoba over her. He may have had better references, experience, or could have been a better personality fit for the university. We just don't know the whole story, and as Ms. Farmer presents it simply as he was chosen for his race. As for Mrs. Farmer getting paid less than Mr. Makoba, there are also facts there that are unknown to us, such as Mr. Makoba's experience, participation in voluntary events or activities, performance, or simply his ability to negotiate his salary upon hire. Number 2, the Watchmark Comnatel Corporation has undergone significant changes since their case of outsourcing. They were renamed Valiant Corporation and later acquired by IBM. This shows the competitive nature of the software industry. Based on this knowledge, examine the outsourcing actions by Watchmark Comnatel from the deontological and teleological perspectives. From the deontological sense, the Watchmark Comnatel Corporation was simply doing what they needed to make their company profitable. American workers cost more to employ, and overseas candidates are 1/16 of the salary. This is simple math. In laying off their staff, the company knew they would need people to train those that were taking over. From their statement, the Watchmark Comnatel Corporation offered severance packages and a bonus to those that were willing to stay and help with the transition. Does this create stress for American employees? I'm sure, but the company's concern is staying afloat in a competitive business. If their employees are willing to stay on and train for a fee, they're still making money in that exchange. For the teleological sense, the Watchmark Comnatel Corporation made a bad call in kicking their employees while they were down. First, they take away their job, their income, and leave them high and dry to replace them with someone else who can do their work for less. Then they offered a bonus, which all of these newly jobless people would now need to stay on and train their replacements. They're cornered into staying because they need the money, and then they're demoralized by having to show this new person how to take over their work. It is embarrassing for those that have been loyal to a company to be asked to do this. Number 3, present an argument that's easier for employers to comply with diversity regulations in Canada than it is for the United States. Legislation around diversity in Canada is more lax than it is in the United States. Within the United States, federal laws against discrimination and for diversity take the place of any state laws that might exist for them. The federal laws outweigh any state law of the same type within our country, so anyone wanting to do business must follow the federal law. And in Canada, while their federal laws cover the federal companies and corporations and industries such as banks, railroads, airlines, they must follow the federal guidelines for those industries. However, all other industries fall at the mercy of the state, or rather territory or province in Canada. The federal government gives the local government the power to decide how to handle these important issues. As you move from province to province or territory to territory, you experience different variations of these laws. Also, complaints to these issues are not heard in court, but rather in tribunals. Legal representation is not necessary. Um, this keeps costs way down by not using legal representation, and any kind of um, settlement made would be much lower than in the United States. Select a source of media as outlined in exercises in media diversity. Comment on the questions listed in the textbook for the media option you selected. So I chose the electronic media primetime TV option A, which is watch 2 hours of primetime TV drama between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Question number 1, what audience do you think each program targets? And explain and give examples. So I believe these programs target a 30 to 55 age range watching medical and crime TV dramas. You have characters within this age range, many characters within this age range. They're involved in current issues that are important to adults today. Everything that is on the news is within these shows, so they're keeping current. You have adult relationships and activities that are definitely not appropriate for children, so good thing that they're on at the time that they are. Number 2, stereotype and cultural messages. What stereotype and cultural messages do you think the program sent? And explain. Give examples. The stereotypes vary from character to character. I feel that they're trying to please every type of person in these shows by including more characters with different backgrounds, ethnicities, sexual orientation, and lifestyle. They seem to have no specific stereotype by including all types of people. They're drawing in all types of watchers of their show, which is probably a very good tactic for them in order to get them to watch, to get more people to watch. Cultural messages that these shows are displaying seem to be more of a light-hearted feel. Even the crime dramas have this feeling of everything's gonna be okay. And then they also have a generalized sexual, casual approach to sex life. Again, not good for kids. They are also driven around hardworking and career-oriented characters with complex lives and problems. So there's always some sort of emotional instability happening that usually by the end of the episode that they're freeing up or tying up the loose ends. Again, I watch a lot of these shows, so I am familiar with this genre. It seems they're trying to represent today's working professional. So they're looking for those that are specifically these shows, doctors, nurses, EMTs, police officers, the crimes lab unit, and things like that. Number 3, what audience do you think the commercials target? Explain, give examples. Obviously, if you're watching shows for 30s to 50s, you're going to have commercials that also identify this target audience. So, looking at commercials seem to target 30 to 40 something year old females. And while there are scattered commercials targeted to men that revolve around shampoo and shaving devices, and even car sales a little bit, most of the commercials seem to be geared towards women. You're seeing a lot of beauty products advertisements for department store shopping, and even shows that are similar to what you're watching right now. So they want to link you up to more shows or new shows coming up. Car commercials show people with a feeling of status or freedom while driving on the open road. So I think they're trying to emulate the feeling that you get when you watch these types of shows. Number 4, what stereotype and cultural messages do you think the commercials send? Kind of linked to the same response as before, but they seem to send these messages of a carefree lifestyle where you are beautiful and you're staying young, you're wearing the right kind of makeup and you're driving the right kind of car. Um, those type of things are paramount, and being fashionable is important to you and your friends, and in order to stay happy um, and have a good time. Status is based on the type of car you drive and the clothes you wear, and even the car insurance that you go with. So, um, the car insurance commercials that we saw were, showing, hardworking professionals trying to get a good deal on their car insurance. So, thank you very much for allowing me to um, show this beautiful face on YouTube. Thank you very much.